says he doesn't. They have possession of them. Then they seem to be aware that they've accidentally given them to the prosecution. They don't alert their client. There's so many problems with this.
This is a colossal error by the defense attorneys. Now, what they're going to say is that we had thousands of documents in this case, and this just slipped through, and we didn't really know that those text messages were in the pile of documents that were turned over to Jones's attorneys. That's what the attorneys are going to say, because otherwise the attorneys are guilty of subornation of perjury. If you put a witness on the stand knowing that that witness is going to commit perjury, you share his guilt in that crime. So the attorneys could be in big trouble. So their defense is going to be, well, it was a mistake. With respect to Jones, he's now looking at a potential $150 million verdict, which may destroy him economically, but he's also looking at potential indictment in Texas for aggravated perjury, which has a penalty of 2 to 10 years in prison. So the stakes have gotten very, very big in a case that was already a huge defamation case, maybe one of the biggest defamation cases in U.S. history.
Erica, one of the most surreal moments was when he got called out for ranting against the judge, in effect, on air and denied it in court. I think we've got that clip again.
You say, Mr. Jones, that you're taking these court proceedings seriously. You're approaching them in good faith. But the truth of the matter is, you've been broadcasting repeatedly a picture of our judge on fire, haven't you?
Objection compound, Your Honor.
No.
The person on the left of this image is our judge, correct?
Yes.
The person on the right is another judge you don't like, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, that's real-time fact-checking, but that's also somewhere between sick and absurd.
But this has been happening throughout, right? And Oliver has been watching this really closely. So remember, we were talking yesterday about when the parents, Neil Heslin and Scarlett Lewis, were addressing him. He wasn't there in court in the morning because he was doing his show. And you know, railing on them then has been continually hitting a lot of this while all of these proceedings are happening. Bringing up the judge, as you noted, also railing on the jurors, a little pushback from the jurors too, calling them blue collar, basically trying to use terms and trying to make the case that they're not smart enough to make a sound decision in this case when it comes to damages. It is remarkable just how open and transparent he has been in that respect. And yet, as you point out on the stand, being fact-checked in real time. No, that's not her. Yes, it is her.
The Sandy Hook lawyer on Hot Mic says, you know, the thing, or I'm paraphrasing, the thing people haven't thought about yet is what happens when these messages, when law enforcement gets these messages. 2 years on his cell phone takes us well before the insurrection. And he was there on that day in Washington. Are you expecting that the committee, Paul, is going to want to get their hands on these text messages?
Absolutely, they will. They're going to look to see if he was involved in actually planning the takeover of the Capitol on January 6th. And of course, you know that he's so crazy in what he says on the air, his text messages probably reflect that as well. So this is going to be probably a big thing for the committee. Also, was there any contact with the former president by Jones? Jones had interviewed the president and had contacts with him at some point in time. They'll be looking into that as well when they get these text messages.
Bernardo, final word?
Look, yesterday's price is not today's price. After Alex Jones testified, the jury now has a different mindset as to how much money should they award. So all I'm thinking is money, money, money.
That they're going to get closer to what they're asking for.
Exactly, and the punitive damages are going to be out off the roof.
And I'm thinking of jail, 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 because that's where this guy deserves to go for lying in court about and telling these horrible lies about these 20 dead children and 6 of their adult teachers who died in this horrible, horrible incident.
I'm thinking truth, truth, truth. How about that?
It's horrific, the pain that he's caused.
Absolutely.
You guys, thank you so much for
Thanks,
that
guys.
conversation. We do really appreciate it.